bet it's a bullet gonna get the last laugh.
I want to start this video off and say RIP to the creator of Dragon Ball Z. What this person created, the impact of it will never be fully comprehended. Like Goku, Dragon Ball Z is one of the biggest animes of all time, and it literally influenced so many different genres and games and movies and like everything. So RIP to a legend. I just had to start the video off with that. Here's the post that they put out if you haven't read it for yourself. But with that, let's talk about Tekken 8. There's some interesting things happening currently with the developers and on Twitter. The first thing that I'll mention is this tweet from Harada. How about adding a mode without rage arts and without heat? It's likely to be popular with people who don't need gauges for Tekken, like a no-no mode for competition. This is something that I see people say all the time. Tekken 8 would be so much better without heat and without rage, because if you go back to some of the greatest Tekkens of all time, they didn't have any of that stuff, and that is kind of what people wanted to return to. But Harada responds and says, "That's genius. That's genius," he says. And since Tekken already exists, please choose your favorites from Tekken 1 to Tekken 7. That second sentence sounds like he is not going for it. He says, by the way, in the history of the series, there's always been a certain number of people who don't want 10 consecutive moves. I'm guessing that's the 10 hit combos. Don't want Skycon, lost in translation. Don't need counter hit attacks. Don't want walls. Don't want infinites, don't want rage. With this tweet here, he's basically confirming for everyone who always thinks it, we will not put in a mode where you cannot use heat and not use rage. To just show how embedded heat is into the game, you can even activate heat when playing Tekken Beach Ball. Yes, it looks absurd, your character heat dashing at the line in place, but it's still there and it's not going anywhere, is what he's saying with this tweet. Bad news, but here's some good news, at least for me. All the scrubs and also all of the people who are visually impaired. Someone has another great idea. It says, "Hello Harada and Michael Murray. My name is Rob and I am visually impaired. When playing a game, the thing that I struggle with the most is actually seeing the throw animations in order to correctly break them. With that said, an accessibility feature could greatly help me and others with a similar issue. It's the possibility to have grabs trigger a specific sound for each break or arm used in the animation. That way, everyone with a visual disability can have a shot against characters that have a strong grab mix-ups. In order to better demonstrate what I'm suggesting, I created a video. I'll show you guys the video in just a second, but this is true. Tekken 8 grabs is stronger than ever. Not only counter hit grabs, but just grabs in general. Dragon off wall splatting grab, Zhao Yu grab that's a launcher. It's absurd. You guys let me know if you would love this. Here's the video.
1 2 3
Me bro, I am an absolute scrub when it comes to breaking throws. I have the reaction time to press 1 or to press 2 or 1+2, but I just simply don't know what button to press when. I need to go watch a FDX video. This feature, having the game tell you 1, 2 would help me massively. Harada responds to this what I believe to be an excellent idea and says, thanks. We are currently considering these options. I hope this is something that they implement, bro, because I will be the most unstoppable player on the planet because of it. I just love here, jokes aside, how Harada really takes feedback from players. Like in the last tweet, he says, no, we're not doing that. But in this one, he says, we'll consider it. He's always open to suggestions and things that will make the game better. And I just love to highlight that when these situations arise. Talking about situations arise, I have about like 10 different videos here. These are all either glitches, bugs, infinite combos. You guys just look at these string of videos and just look at the chaos that players is coming up with. This is kind of why the developers put the tournament so far back, because they kind of want to iron out all of this stuff before then. But on the flip side, I would say that they really should have had a main tournament, bro. They should have never delayed EVO. Just have EVO simply be detached from the Tekken World Tour. I made this argument before, so let's move on because, you know, it's pointless at this time. The tournaments will happen like a month, 2 months from now, and in the meantime, they will be fixing all of this stuff that Twitter is discovering. Okay, now let's move on to the next topic. Someone says, day 11 of asking for my daddy Fakaram in Tekken 8. Give me Fakaram or end me. Harada says, we keep a lot of log requests all the time. By the way, you should not use spamming methods because repeating the same request every day as you do is considered spamming and will only make your requests look bad rather than motivate us to do the same. I will say this about Fakaram. People say they hate Fakaram, but then I always see people requesting Fakaram, and I wonder which of the two is the minority. Sometimes you have a loud minority that just hates on everything, but the silent majority loves it. You know, Fakaram is the most viewed trailer of all time within Tekken 7. Is the character really that beloved, and it's a matter of time before he shows up in Tekken 8? I don't know. Speaking of things being a matter of time for it to show up in Tekken 8, another tweet from Harada. Was wondering for Tekken 8, could we get a reimagined design of the original Tekken 1 maps like Encore? Retro maps for DLC. I would love that. Harada says, these days, it takes an enormous amount of time and money to create a battle stage. In the past, Harada said it costs like roughly $400,000 to make one stage from scratch. More for a character from scratch. I don't know if the price of that increased in Tekken 8, but during Tekken 7, that's what he said. It continues, so if there was any stages from past Tekken series to be remake, we would listen to everyone's requests and carefully select them. Which of the following stages would you guys like to see remake? You guys can take a guess of which stages the players were requesting in the comments. You will see pictures of the ones that had like over like 200 likes, right? These are the ones people were agreeing on. These two here, however, are the most liked. You have Skyring. This is one of the most iconic stages in Tekken simply because of King's, design. This outfit, this picture is viral. But number one most requested stage to return, it says, I speak for the entire community. We would all kindly ask for Moonlight Wilderness. 1,600 likes on this post. Before Tekken 8 came out, we knew anything about the game. This is a stage that I thought 100% would be DLC. It just makes sense. But the thing about Tekken 8 does not have any infinite stage, not one. All of them are walls. So if they brought back Moonlight Wilderness, will DLC stages be infinite? Or will they create some arbitrary wall to prevent it from being infinite? I don't know. Now let's switch over to Michael Murray. While Harada's over here talking about characters and stages and having a wonderful time, Michael Murray is not. I don't know what it is with the Tekken subreddit and Michael Murray, but those two do not get along with one another. Michael Murray used to be way more active on Twitter, but the Tekken subreddit, they kept screenshotting his tweets like they are now and making fun of him. This one, it says, don't waste your energy on Murray regarding pluggers. He is not competent as you think. Harsh. That is brutal. It hurts to say this, but trying to talk with this guy feels like you're talking with a high schooler. He only responds to obnoxious trolls on Twitter insulting him, paying no mind to the reasonable majority asking sensible questions, trying to get a non-troll response out of the guy. Someone says, imagine banning people manually instead of implementing an automatic system that gives a penalty to the pluggers like every other game. Omega lol. Michael Murray says, yeah, because that works so well. I've been timed out in the game for not doing anything at all. Now, this response is kind of frustrating. Everyone is unanimously agreeing that they should just auto penalize pluggers. If someone randomly gets clapped up in the crossfire, like, okay, we'll accept that. We'll take little Timmy getting clapped up for no reason at all. If also all of the pluggers get clapped up as well, we will accept the few anomalies here and there. Like, come on. Michael Murray sees a lot of the criticism on the Tekken subreddit, and he says, I don't believe some of the people would be so stupid enough to think that the only ban system is an Excel sheet. Some people like to complain so much that they can't take a joke for what it is. Must be sad to go through life like that. Underneath that, 160 likes, constructive criticism. Rather than making jokes, being overly vague and making promises that have gone unfulfilled for 8 years. See, this is the thing. We're not just talking about, 1 month. You didn't do a single thing about pluggers, they are now even more incentivized to plug. So leave the jokes aside until you solve the problem. So players are kind of like frustrated, and it's sad because Tekken 8 is so fun. It's so awesome. It's so cool. The sound, the visuals, design, everything amazing. I don't know, bro. It sucks that they didn't come prepared. I must keep saying it. The fact that they didn't come prepared release of Tekken